So now we're going to use this one. Just take note now. As you can see from the past year, okay, since now we are here. So far for last year, so far for this year on 1st of March, I really predicted these are the questions that are going to come up in your, Ethan, can you on your camera, please? Sorry. Thanks. Okay. So you see, Ethan and Wei Miao, you see, this is a question I predicted. Let's look at the, no harm, we'll go through this. You see, 2014, this is these two are quite an old syllabus. So from 2016 onward, you see, I spotted this, it came up. Okay, that's for SEQ, SPQ came up. I spotted these two, it came up. Then 2027, I spotted this, it came up. Okay, 3-star. Then 2018, okay, I spotted these three. This is the last one. That is the least that I spotted. I thought these two will come up. It came up this, also quite close. 2019, I spotted this, all this, it came out, the purge by Stalin, so also quite close, came out. 2022, I spotted these three, but actually came out. You see, rise and fall of Hitler. So this one 0, out. So now 2021, I still spotted these three, these two. Okay, hopefully these two will come out in your SPQ. That is under SPQ, the two of you gentlemen. Take note. Okay, so this is, you see, so far, all the year, these two is, I can't remember I spotted it correctly or not. But as far as first year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years, out of 5 years, 4 years correct. Only last year did not came out. It came out Hitler. Because I thought Hitler was somewhere here, you see. So I thought it would not come out. I thought this would come out. And now this looked like very high chance. Okay, you see, this one never come out. This one Stalin. This one Hitler. This one Hitler. No, this one is CMC. So it looks like Korean War, very high chance. Ethan, what did your teacher spot? So far, your prelim?
Our teacher say like he didn't what you call it, spot any question. She said like you must revise everything.
Very smart move. How about Wei Miao? Wei Miao.
What did you say the same thing? Like,
no, prelim. Sorry, your prelim SPQ. What came out? Sorry, I asked the wrong question. No teacher will want to spot any questions because there's once the teacher will spot the questions, the student blame the teacher and complain about her. Sad to say, we just want to do our best to help you, but end up 弄巧反拙. Okay, 赔了夫人又折兵. Poor thing like this to teacher. So what did the SPQ came up, Wei Miao? Can you remember?
I remember, but like the second part 2, there was Cuban crisis and Hitler, like the rise of Hitler.
Oh, rise of Hitler.
Oh, sorry, that's for question 2. Question 2 and 3. I cannot remember the first SPQ.
Okay, how about you? Hello, Xing Chen. Hi. Sorry, your earpiece with me. I can use already. That's me. That's my already. I call you. You don't want to answer the call. Then sorry, Lord. It's my earpiece already. Okay, Ethan, which question came up for your prelim for SPQ?
Source base was Cuban Missile Crisis, and then the other one was for SRQ was
Cuban Missile Crisis. It came out.
CMC came
SPQ,
out for source base. And then for the SE questions, one came out was end of World War II.
End of World War II.
Yeah, the other one was on like Chamberlain and like Cold War.
Oh my God, appeasement. Okay. All right, thank you. So you see, this is the year that came out. Okay, this is a year. Okay, I spotted German defeat of World War II, came out. I spotted this, came out. That's 2016. Okay, also came out. You see, practically all came out. No, this two is not considered. I think it's this part, the one I put asterisk one. It came out. So Germany defeat came out in 2016, as well as the ending of Cold War. Then after that, 2017, I spotted Treaty of Versailles. It came out. League of Nations came out. So 2017, chances is very low that it will come out this year. Then I spotted Stalin on 2018 came out. So actually came out this one purchase. So I just say, when I say Stalin means you study everything on Stalin and it came out. Okay, then on 2019, okay, I spotted this one. It came out actual. And then I spotted Perestroika and Gosno. Anyway, you all know, maybe you don't need to study this two. The last topic, you don't write. Maybe
Yes.
you know, this one don't need to study. But anyway, it came out on 2019. Okay, so come back to 2020. It came out this one. So you see, last year I only spotted 100%, but only 50 or 60% came out. Cold War. Because the SPQ was 0%. Okay, it came out. Actually, this one is rise for the rise of Hitler introduced the Jews on this one. This is the one that came out. So what I spotted, these two never came out. So this year, these two. So next month, children, Set 4 student, if you are signed up for the next month course, I will cover these two a lot. KW and CMC. All right. So it's Xing Chen, no need to come in for next month. You concentrate on your exam. Okay. How Ray also the same. Next November, then we talk about it. So as far as concerned is okay, this one. Where am I? Yeah, so this is the one I'm talking about. Hitler, the rise of defeat of Hitler, Poland invasion. Remember this one. Because Poland invasion was 1939. 1939. I expected 2019 to come out because of the anniversary question. So it did not turn out. 他放我飞机 because it was 1939 to 2019. Because the last few years, they always like to give the anniversary questions. Like now, 1941, I won't be surprised that Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. 对吗？微妙跟议程。因为 Pearl Harbor was attacked in 7 of December 1941. 今年是2021年，是不是大概有多久？70年了 ，70 years anniversary questions. So this is the one. So since next year, then we predict already. Let's see what this year these two koko taking the exam and see how. All right. So this is the one I predicted. So let's say Hitler, outbreak of World War II, which I'm going to cover. CMC I covered already, Ethan. And your question also came up in your exam, right? Your SEQ. I'm not sure about yours, Wei Miao. I don't know what you came up for your prelim. What is your prelim? Any idea? Wei Miao, what is your prelim question?
Speak SEQ.
SEQ.
Question 2 was rise of Hitler.
Oh.
Second one is Cuban Missile Crisis.
Okay, so very clear cut already. They say never spot for you, but they already hint to you already. Okay, so I leave it to you, guys. Okay, now this is a little things that I would like you to do, ready? Which is, okay, now the two of you, in fact, all of you, Xing, please, okay, let's go. 8 marks questions. I want you to type it out, okay, or write it whatever you want, okay, and give me your answer. Okay, go and think. You want to take out your books and read and copy your answer, I don't care. But I want you to refresh back, okay? So Wei Miao and Ethan and Xing Chen, I think Hao Rui will not be coming in today because I think he has exam tomorrow. Okay, please spend about 5 minutes and ask, what is the internal and external factors that play a role in Japan expansionist? What makes Japan want to attack Asia Pacific? Is it the internal factor or external factor? Yes, I agree. This is 8 marks. It doesn't say which one would benefit, right? Maybe later on we can argue internal and external. Okay. To me, okay, I find that it's the internal factor. that is more serious to Japan expansionist policy. Okay, it's not really the external, in my opinion. You can be different from mine, so let's go. Wait, I'm replying to my police officer. I just write nothing. Sing Chan also please write down, because this one may come out in your exam. Okay, I think you have studied for the expansionist policy. I purposely choose all these questions for preparing for the Sec3's exam. So please pay attention to that. Thank you.
My school isn't at Japan yet.
No Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then it's okay. Then you have to wait. Later on, we'll do the SBQ. Where do you stop?
I think defeat of Germany in World War II.
这么慢啊? So slow. That means you're not tested already, lor. Because your history exam is next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no need, not tested already. Oh, sorry. Very funny, right? So. Are you all done? Anyway, Xingchen, you can just listen because it may help you later on for your these topics, so you cannot escape also. Hey, Xingchen, you finish your paper 1 and 2 already, right? English.
Only paper 1.
Oh, paper 2 tomorrow.
No, next week.
Okay. Thank you.
说实话，我不太确定这道题该，我不太会就是那个，不知道这道题该怎么回答。Yes.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
what is it?
我不太确定这道题该怎么答，该怎么回答。
我听不明白，你再讲一次。
我不太确定这道题该怎么回答。
这题你不懂怎么回答啊？但这题呢？会不会？一晨你会吗？没有事，没有事，不要紧张。Uncle Raymond 帮你 ，you are lucky 啊。This question was done by my this school that is very good. Okay, ready? 一晨 are you there? Okay, have you write your answer?
Yeah.
What is okay?
Wait.
SSA1 and History B4. This time you jolly well get A2 for your history.
Okay.
You confirm next year your result come out. If your humanities got A1 to A2, you will get a gift, a present for Uncle Raymond. I'm serious. You got my number, right? Ethan?
I think so.
Don't think lah. Must be confirmed. Humanities student, you must know, must be firm. You got my number now? Check. Serious 我们约法三章先吧，微妙 ，OK， if you do well， OK， 我请你吃雪糕，不是普通的雪糕意大利雪糕 ，OK， 来，一晨 ，What do you think the first one, internal external?
Wait, very fast I send.
Sure. Just 微妙 ，when you see this kind of question, don't panic 你把那个局面the same arena，OK，the war theater 放在那个 Stalin 跟 Hitler，OK，全部都是大同小异的。第一个是什么？为什么 Germany 要 attack 呢？要 expand 呢？微妙。
是因为就是那个首先应该就是那个 Treaty of Versailles 让他就是。
对，不要讲 Treaty of Versailles。现在我问你你是 Hitler 啦，你是希特勒。Why do you need to expand based on internal factor? What is the reason internal factor you need to expand? 因为什么？人民没有饭吃，对吗 ？Make sense? Make sense Then what else? No job, right? Correct?
对，是的。
Then overpopulation 对吗？Do you see? Then Stalin 是不是一样 ？Stalin 是不是一样？会不会一样？Then 你觉得那个日本会不一样？日本每次讲错日本，会一样吗？Will be the same?
Yes， 就主要是我不知道就是该怎样开始这样子。
开始很简单吗？你就要讲one based on the internal factor 就这样。One OK start off with internal。你不懂怎么开始，好，我明白你意思了，你老师没有教你这个怎么开头了？
应该老师没有仔细讲过，我基本上都是自己凭感觉走的。
OK， 我叹气不是你。OK， alright，起头万事难。好，咱们来玩一个游戏吧，好吗？一晨你好了没有，宝贝？我要开始我的讲法了。So, Xingchen, just a quick guess. What do you think about the internal factors that cause Japan to expand? Don't Google 啊，你不要跟我玩丑啊，跟你讲啊，我知道你的厉害了，开玩笑，开玩笑。Okay, come. Why do you think so? Xingchen. Yes.
Can I say later?
Okay, later already my answer will come up already. Not too late lah. Yes， 一晨，快点，不要浪费时间了，快点，有什么东西讲出来 ？Just a guess.
Finish typing, but one is overpopulation.
Okay, good. Let me share with you.
That's
One
like
of the
internal factor.
one of the internal factors that play a role. Start right down, 微妙，写下来。我教你 ，when you see internal, external, okay, you can write like this. Never mind, later I will give it to you lah. Don't write first. Just listen to what I say first. So you can start off. One of the internal factors that play a role. Always ATQ the questions. Since the question asks you what is internal, external, right? You just always do that. One of the internal factors that play a role in Japan expansionist policy in the Asia Pacific is the what? What is it? The problem? The problem is Asia was because of over what? 微妙。Thank you, sir. 降1分了。As the population grew larger, the demand for housing, for goods and products also increased. That's internal. Then you talk about external, right? Okay, let's say you expand 这个这样只是2-3分而已不够don't write like that. I'll just give you how, because you want to know how to start, right? So another one is one of the external factors that play a role in Japan expansionist policy in the Asia Pacific was the war in 哪一个微妙？Okay, 很简单我用 the war in Europe. That's why Japan saw people also start to colonize to take other place and so on. So 微妙很简单，你结婚了，你老婆说，老公，人家有买一间房子，我们现在也是不错，我要买多一间房子 ，get it 了？You know, you see people do because you and your wife can earn a lot of money now. So you want to invest another house. 你说老公现在的物价很好当做 investment 去租给人 then of course this house next time can pass it to your son and daughter, correct now? Now you get it? So you see when Japan saw Germany attack 哇 Italy also like that 哇cannot 我也是要 join in the fun, get it now? That's the reason 很简单You see history is the same in real life 对不对it's the same thing then 你儿子 Daddy 我要补习为什么？因为我全班都有补习那你讲你功课很好了是因为我没有补习 very pressure peers pressure must have tuition which is nothing wrong right you agree not? If your son asks you for tuition you should okay if you say Daddy 我要1000块周末我要做生意你才12岁做什么生意因为我朋友每个都做生意that is a different thing no it's not a joke because this is a very far-fetched example ladies and gentlemen but you have to think when Japan saw Germany expand Europe, he also want to do the expansion because he's too greedy. 所谓人不足蛇吞象 It's very funny. A population of so small and the bloody big island want to attack China, want to attack Southeast Asia, want to attack Indonesia. Oh my goodness, 一晨是不是很对不对
Can we say one of the reasons was cause weakness of the League of Nations?
Yes, correct. Can be done. That is one of the reasons. That is an external factor. You're right. You know why? Because that is the reason to give the excuse to what? To expand. Okay, let's give an example. In school, the teacher say, now all must stay in the class, cannot get out of the class. Okay? Then suddenly you see everyone go out of the class, go and buy food, come back. The lead of nation, which is the discipline master, cock out. Then Yi Chen will say, hey, bro, you're from which class? You near to the canteen, right? You check. See the discipline teacher there now. Don't let me know. Then we get one 代表去买东西吃. 哎，你们不要笑哈，你们也是这样，好像第一 lesson，哎，copy 了 check I want to buy drinks 我 see anyone in the canteen then your DP teachers drink plain water, why you must drink 100 plus 对吗？对吗？微妙 get idea? So thank you very much, Ethan. Thank you very much, Ethan. That is the lead of nation. The weakness of that is the cause of one of the reasons. And what else? Why the war in Europe creates an opportunity for Japan? Because it's very simple. You see, listen, when war in Europe, in England, 它是不是有殖民地在 Southeast Asia? Then 那个 France 有没有殖民地在 Southeast Asia? Which country?
France 我好像只记得那个 Britain 是 India。
Sir, Southeast Asia. India is not in Southeast Asia.
Indonesia.
Okay. You realize, gentlemen, the reason I tell you all this history tells you all this, is because when you do business and law, you must know Article 1, Article 1, Section 1, Section 2. All these are very important because you're going to safeguard your customers. You're going to safeguard the dates. All these are really black and white. France control Vietnam. Britain control Malaysia, Singapore, Burma. Philippines was from US, but prior to that, Philippines was controlled by Spain. Indonesia was controlled by Dutch. So when you see this country are fighting, the master are fighting in Europe, wow, 医生可以用这个字吗？趁火打劫了趁人之危了微妙，对吗？微妙 history teacher in school never use Chinese to talk to you like that one.
She's from Malay.
She's from where?
She's from Malaysia. She's a Malay teacher.
Malay teacher. But I mean, it's good to add in our Chinese 我们华人是不是举一反三很好用真的是趁人之危微妙。你看，哈哈，他的主人不在家，嘿嘿嘿，咱们来 attack 吧。等一下就跟他们讲we going to free you from all the Amor. We are all the Asian. The Amor no good. Then the all the race in Southeast 哇，崇拜他们。怎么知道他来到新加坡大屠杀 all the massacre, the Sochi. They say, hey, hello, excuse me. I think you worse than my Amor boss is it in the same company? When the company say now the mergers of the company from DBS Bank and POSB, we work together. Then the new boss come in, 微妙 you are sacked. 一晨整天拿 MC sack. 星辰整天用 handphone sack. Wow, then you fed out, right? That's the thing. So you see, you realize this is also can be used in real life. Okay, thanks to, you see now, because of the Southeast Asia, can you write down, left a vacuum of power, of a master. So Japan, of course, you cannot use 趁人之危 in history, right? How do you use a proper English word? Japan found a great opportunity to intercept, invade, okay, and intrude, to take this opportunity and grab hold and say, this is mine. Just like very simple, children. You all go to a food court and eat now before COVID-19. Do you like to put a tissue paper on the table or put your bag there? Correct? Right? I'll ask, 微妙，你坐下来你帮我们做我们三个一晨、星辰我们去买东西，你要吃什么我跟你买还是等一下你自己去找，对不对？So you see, so when another group of students come in, oh my goodness, 他看到你，hey, 微妙 how are you? Can I share with you? Then of course, sorry, the 3 seat has been taken. Get it now. So they took the opportunity to conquer and to intercept it immediately. Why? To be honest, Japan is damn bloody smart. Because Japan took this because of 3 important resources: rubber, tin, and food. Sorry, one more time. Rubber, tin, and rice. Is a smart. The only country that in the Southeast Asia was not attacked was Thailand. Do you know that, Wei Miao?
Oh yes, I know that.
In fact, before long ago, the only country was not being intervened and intercept and interrupt and intruded by foreign country is Thailand. I told you before, right, last lesson. They were not attacked at all because of their very Western thinking emperor. The monarch is very smart. So you see, this is history, and that's why you see, when now I'm doing my own business with my boss, I use my history concept to use it. it will sure work one, to be honest. So thank you for the LON answer. Now, wait, I push it down. Okay, Xing Chen, please add on some ideas what you want to say. Wei Miao, did I move out the answer now?
等一下我 screenshot 一下。
不用 screenshot 啦，我上在 Google Classroom 你去慢慢看到完了。By the way 微妙 we better take this answer seriously this one because these are my, to be honest, these are my two good teachers, three good teachers. Okay, one of them is taught in NIE. Okay, the other one was a very history guru. Thank God I have three very wonderful teachers. I learned from them. One of them 是教 NIE teachers. Okay, if yes, you go and 如果你有得空你现在去 Popular 找，不要跟你的朋友分享I think 一晨跟西晨知道了。The book is called by Mrs. Wong Beating. Okay, she's actually the lecturer in NIE to train history teacher, and he was my colleague. I thank God, very proud of it. And I always ask my history student to buy that two books for SEQ and SPQ. Don't waste your money now lah. Okay, you don't waste your money and buy now. To be honest, if you want, you go to the Popular bookshop and pretend to read through there. Okay, don't waste your money, seriously. But the two books is super solid. Okay, 你有弟弟跟妹妹
有。
Next time you show that this two book is very awesome. Okay, I thank God he taught me, and then I got this history teacher with 40 years, teaching for 40 years in Singapore. I got another history teacher and SS teacher also 20 years. Wow, I really 我真的是拿得到。And the way they share the methods, everything, then I modify and learn. So this is the answer that you are looking for. 微妙，百闻不如一见。
然后就是你现在可以把那个 History Google Classroom 那个 code 发给我吗？
那个我的colleague没有给你咩？
我父母没有给我，一直没收到。
没有，不可能的。of course 我可以给你 ，but are you sure no？一晨一晨星辰 ，can you pass the Google Classroom the Google Classroom code to 微妙 can？Do you have no？ 一晨有吗 ？Because I don't know whether I want. Okay, if you don't mind you look through. I go and look for it first. See whether I can find. I think I have to open up the file. This one okay. Wait. Hey, Wei Miao, are you looking at the answer?
在看。
Okay. Oh, now you know how to answer already. One internal, one external. This is the way you answer. Ethan, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, look at the answer. Yours is not there, your answer is not there, but I still can accept that answer. Okay, hey, wait, cannot find. Where's my history? Hey, is it this one? Class, is it the code? Class code, is it, Ethan?
I think so. I'm not very sure.
Sorry. Hey, where should I go now? I'm a bit lost already. Give me a minute. I go to check. Okay. Okay. Google Classroom code for this one. 不懂对不对微妙，你试试看，等一下进去看是不是这个 ？OK？
好的。
我再放那个 check note， 应该是这个啦。Class code， 你 put that class code 36NBBLP3。OK， 开始OK， 微妙 ，why don't you read to the class one of the internal factor and external factor？
Okay. One of the internal factors that played a role in Japan's expansionist policy in the Asian Pacific was its problem of overpopulation. As the population grew larger, the demand for housing, goods, and products also increased.
Next one, the external.
One of the external factors that played a role in Japan's expansionist policies in the Asian Pacific was the war in Europe. The outbreak of war in Europe in 1939 meant that British and French defenses in Asian Pacific were critically weakened and depleted. With the European powers preoccupied by war in Europe, Southeast Asia was left defenseless.
Now you get it? Make sense? And of course, the lead of nation also can be done. Okay, read on the last part. Wei Miao. So when you write like that, these two factors, you only got 4 marks. You need to see. Let's go.
从这个 this problem 上面对吧？
Yeah, this problem 开始对。This problem
affects Japan's growing expansionist ambitions as occupation of more territories and access to more resources, as well as space for relocating citizens. For example, many Japanese were settled in Manchuria to resolve the problem of overpopulation. Hence, by expanding its influence to Manchuria and China, Japan was able to access resources and spaces needed to support and sustain its growing populations, thereby leading to its expansionist policies in the Asia Pacific. The war in Europe created an opportunity for Japan to take the place of the declining powers in the region. French, Indochina, is this supposed to Indochina?
Sorry, yes, correct. French Indochina, Wei Miao and Yi Chen. You know Indochina and Xing Chen. Indochina at that time is referring to Vietnam, Yan'an. Okay, not just Vietnam. If I'm not mistaken, if you study pure history, you'll know that it's not just Vietnam alone. I think if Cambodia and a bit of Laos, okay, that part, okay. Carry on.
Indochina and the British colonies of Malaya and Singapore became easy targets for Japanese invasion. Hence, Japan was able to easily occupy the defenseless European colonies in Asia, thereby leading to its expansionist policies in the Asian Pacific.
Okay, Xing Chen, which one do you think, after listening to Yi Chen and Wei Miao, do you think internal is the reason or external, Xing Chen? Or just now you say you get back to me, like, so which one do you think?
Don't have an opinion.
No, which one do you think? Internal or external?
External.
Or why do you think external is the main reason that Japan 要 declare war? Yes, 星辰，为什么呢？ The rest, Wei Miao and Yi Chen, I will ask you also. So prepare your answer. Let's not to waste time, okay, guys? I choose internal. I'll explain my stand later.
Don't have a reason.
God lah, you must still have the reason why you choose external, ma. Why is it choose external? Why do you think external is more important than internal to drive Japan to go for World War II? I come back to you, Xing Chen. You have to answer this question. Wait, Yi Chen, why internal, external?
I think it's internal.
Yes, please.
Because like I feel that like there are people, right, not having enough food to like eat.
That remind me, a hungry man is an angry man.
Yeah. So it's like if they don't have enough resources, if they're like internal is not like suffering and like then they will go and find resources. I feel that like that's a bigger urge than
bigger urge 啊，听到吗？微妙 bigger urge 急啊，人有三急。Okay, that's a good one. Any more?
No.
Thank you. 微妙 which one?
我认为还是 internal factors.
为什么？
因为首先，正是因为它 is only because like they have not enough food and not enough space for housing like space to accommodate all the population, then they would look for then they would look for more territories to conquer. If they didn't have the internal factor, I mean, if they didn't have that problem at all, I don't think they would even think about like getting more territories because they're already living a good life.
Living a good life. That's well said. Any more? No.
And also that I don't think like the external factors alone is like able to drive them to like to adopt to the expansionist policy because like
when you say external policy, I have to correct this external policy. Yeah, because external policy all along during the Tang Dynasty onward, Japan already got 那个野心要统治中国了。Okay, yeah. If you look at the history all the way back, which your teacher will not share this. If you look at the real deep history, Japan already hate China so much so that they would really want to conquer China totally out of it. Okay. In fact, until today, you can see that in terms of economy, in terms of whatever it is a black blood, in my opinion. Okay. You can say whatever it is, but I still think if there's 有朝一日我看日本也是要东山再起，再打这中国慢慢打了。除非中国变成所谓他们讲的东亚病夫，又给他们吃鸦片 then all the Chinese are not united, things like that, then there's a possibility. But as far as for the next 50 to 100 years, you wait long, okay? But there is always a 风水轮流转. That's history, okay? That is a fact of life. Last time, thousands of years, China has invaded other countries. Then later, people invade them. Now, China, after looking at history, they also want to build the neutralized policy. But like I say, one of the main concerns now, I think if you want to study political science and pure history later on, and what I do is that they will ask you, do you think Taiwan should return to China? That's another side issue. We're not going to deal with it. As far as concerned, what you say, Wei Miao, is correct. The external factor might play a contribute a bit, if I'm not wrong. What else? Any more, Wei Miao? No, Okay, Xing Chen, why you find external?
I think that part of the reason that Japan had a lack of resources was due to external reasons, such as the Japanese Exclusion Acts, which hurt the Japanese economy a lot. And then the Western powers were putting pressure on their expansion into China, which put them in a position where they either had to go to war or give up the territory.
Yes, you see, 他每次讲的东西，虽然他 Google and check, or after Google and check, he going to summarize his idea. That is Xing Chen, through the way of playing COD. Okay, Call of Duty. Nothing wrong, guys. When you play games, you know how to use it. It's nothing wrong. This is where the 举一反三 come in. Not many people have this kind of abilities. When you play game and use history and use your strategy and all this really need a lot of multitasking. I'm very frank with you, okay? Because in my course of the study last time, we talked about how to control the brain for children to do multitasking. There were these two classes. One class totally got no IT. The other class with IT. After 1 year later, the one with the IT score better than the one without IT on certain things. But the one without the IT has a very good creative and evolution of other things, you see. But once the class mixed with IT and books is another story. Okay, to me, I find like internal is because of the word called overpopulations. If you are underpopulation, where got enough manpower? Remember the 5M I put already. Because of overpopulation, you decided to move out of your country to find for a greener pasture to make sure that your population got 丰衣足食. All right. At that time, it's all about the fittest will survive, the weakest will die. And it's a matter of fact that we need to expand in order to get the material, the money, the manpower, and the management as well as the machines that we want to build. That is why you see Stalin is the same thing. He killed the Kulaks. Hitler expand to the Rhineland, the Sudetenland. This is all the same. Ladies and ladies, gentlemen, the same thing lah. 微妙 ，OK。现在你跟你太太结婚，你买2房1厅哦，开始是两个两人世界哈。Then got one baby come out. Okay lah, still can manage. Then another few years, got 2 kids. Then got 3 kids plus you. Then suddenly your parents say, 微妙啊 ，Daddy 跟妈咪要跟你住 ，you cannot throw them out 啊 ，correct not? Right? For example, your brother stay in US, your sister stay in Australia, then you are in Singapore. You cannot just simply throw your parents aside, correct not? So now what must you do? You have to expand out already, right? Your house cannot stay already, overpopulation already, correct not? So what must you do? Then 你就跟你老婆讲，爹啊，老婆啊，我们可能要买大间的屋子了。Then can you imagine 啊？如果你是3个都是男的，还不用紧。如果有2个男1个女，你不可能把女儿大了跟儿子住在一起，住在一个房间吗 ？OK 啦 ，doesn't mean nothing wrong 啊。But of course you want to give， 连你女儿是大女儿，你说 Daddy， 我长大了，我要自己一个房间 ，correct not？ So you see you expand. Is it the same as Japan? Make sense?
Pretty much.
So it's all started of internal policy that trigger the mindset of the leader like you to decide to expand. And maybe better still, your eldest daughters who have a gap between your second and the third child, you say, Daddy, I don't want to stay with you. I want to expand to another house. Can you buy me another house? Things like that, you see? 可能给他是一个嫁妆 the dowry. You get idea? Now it makes sense now? You see, wow, I didn't know Japan expansionary policy can link to my own personal life. Yes, Wei Miao. This is how history works. It's very, very, very great, right? This is where your comparison reliability come in. I always say that this is the beauty of it. So because of internal factors that make the person to be hungry for more. You see? So you see, when you want to buy a bigger house, means got more cash flow problem, right? You need to spend more money, and then the electrical bill also expensive. What must you do? 你跟老婆讲，我现在我看还是在家里煮比较好，不要整天打包了。Must cut down expenses. Maybe 我要找多另外一份工作，还是 maybe I have to look for another job, get higher pay. Is it true? For your case, same thing as Japanese. They find that cannot already, they have to expand because you know why? They are being pressurized by the internal political things. And some of them during the democratic leader, they were being assassinated by the military power in Japan. Now you see, now you know why World War I started also assassination, 对吗? Remember? 对咯，一样嘛。All the 5 dynasty, 唐宋元明清 also the same thing. It's the internal cannot be united. Then the external is the thing. Same thing as social study. If you don't have the race and religions to be united, 外面的人就播谣言了。So internal is a very strong thing. No matter how internal, because the political is not stable, the leader 所谓上梁不正下梁歪 bye bye. That's one. Economical 要吃嘞 hungry man is an angry man. 没有丰衣足食 the Marshall theory, the 5 basic needs you cannot provide, bye bye. Then the social, all the Malay and Indian stay in Pulau Ubin, Pulau Tekong, good luck. Also 种族分裂. So internal is very important. Okay, so 新城 say external 没有错，也是没有错 but to them is because they being pressurized. Unless you say, Wei Miao, you and your wife, you got 2 kids, enough already. But then suddenly you want to expand because your friends all want to buy landed property, but you can afford, but you don't want. You want to invest other studio apartment condo, or you want to invest back in China, you want to open a company, but your wife or your children or your parents pressurize you. Hey, no lah, Wei Miao, go, get more things. This is called pressure already. This is where when Japan saw that Germany and Italy start to expand that. So internally, the political people, hello, excuse me, Prime Minister, what are you going to do? This is the best opportunity there. You should do something. Our people are ready. Are you ready? No? So there's the external factors that cause it. Okay, 明白吗? Okay, so next question. This is a 12 marks. Japan defeat in World War II was due to its weakness. How far do you agree? All right. Okay, this one is, I find it, They just tell you like that. Okay, you got 1 mark. This is under the battleship. Missouri. Okay, Missouri. Okay, so this is on the after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right, Ethan. Yes and no. Let's go.
Can I think for a while?
Sure. Same. I think the answer is here already, but you can think about this is the this is how my teacher marked in terms of like that, very detailed. I just put it here first. Look at the questions. Look at the question. It say that was due to its weaknesses. Defeat, or is it due to its weaknesses or no?
Yes.
对咯，不所谓 how you say in Chinese
不自量力。
对，不自量力，对。It's not nothing to do with US coming in, you see. In fact, US don't come in, the war will be, it will last longer, but definitely is, you see, whoever start the war, let's put it this way, children, very clear. You look at all the way the history, you look at whatever history you're talking about, Napoleon War, Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, you name it, any damn war in the world that you can remember, whoever start the war will never last forever one. Trust me. 你听过这句话吗？宜城、新城 and 浩瑞。sorry， 没有浩瑞不在，微妙。福不过三代，听过这句话吗？
听过。
什么意思？你懂了哈？ Right, the grandfather, the father, the son, and then finally the son decided to give up the business. 这句话是真的很有意思。古人说这句话，福不过三代 ，it's a super true. If you can 过三代that means there's some transformation during the 3rd generation. Look at all the dynasty. Okay, you can see for yourself. Okay, what is the thing that cause Japan to feel weakness? Okay, it's always a 5M. Very easy one. Okay, Ethan, you type your answer already. While you're waiting, can you see the 36 NPULP can go into your Google Classroom? 你试试看好吗？
我这里了，进去了。
Sorry.
I'm inside already.
Oh, so you see all the lesson plan there already?
Yes.
You see all the lesson there? Do you see do you see what the first one was lesson 37 and 38, you saw that? Then got 35, 36, 33, 34, you huh? Everything is there? All right, okay, good. Then that's you're in. Okay, let's go back to this one. Ethan.
I think the defeat was due to the Japan's weakness.
Sorry, defeat was due to what?
Japan's weakness.
Why?
Like Japan was a bit overextended when with like
sorry.
Japan had like not very didn't have that much army, but
correction, they use Taiwan army, they use Taiwan population and Korean population. So not true, they still have, just like Hitler, they use Austria, Hungary, Italy, Finland, Yugoslovakia, you are not wrong, okay, all these countries. Yeah, carry on.
But like it was like overextended and like make like resources.
The resources slowly depleting. You see, you see, first few thing 你没有这么大的头，不要戴这么大的帽子啦，对不对 ？Japan， 哎呀 ，why is you never learn your lesson? From your great grandfather, who went to attack China until now, all these things already tell you, you still want to do it, like. Wow, you are damn bloody stubborn, and I really cannot take it. I really respect Japan, the Japanese soldiers, because they really 永垂不朽死而无憾 kamikaze and harakiri. That's why I really respect them. But I cannot take it when you lost the war. Please apologize, right? Please say I'm sorry, I did the wrong. Until today, they still insist they are that freaking wrong. I got one day in the school, if I'm not mistaken, I was so angry until I have to say the F word out. My student was so, sir, you just say, yeah, I know. I was so frustrated because I still cannot accept the massacre of Nanjing Datusa and the Singaporean. And my grandfather affected. My grandfather's his business. If it's not affected today, I might be taking over his business. Why? All the bicycle shop. So I say, 人算不如天算啊, Ethan. But you see, this is the thing. Please take note. This is the easiest essay questions. If you really come up, I tell you, you really kiss to A1. Very simple. When you do not write, look at this. Ethan, can you read the first one? Yes, Japan defeat.
Yes, Japan's defeat in World War II was due to its weaknesses.
Stop. Okay, stop. Wei Miao. So this is how you answer, ATQ. Always like that. When the question asks you, do you agree or this one, always answer like that. Okay, 记得哈? Okay, let's go.
One of its weaknesses was its ineffective defense of its overextended empire. By 1942, Japan occupied most of the whole Southeast Asia, which was large territory for Japanese forces to manage. The Japanese empire, which had overstretched itself, and it was difficult for Japanese forces to maintain the defense, and newly occupied by the Allies decimated the numbers of experienced Japanese pilots and aircraft carriers. Japan struggled to keep up with the war effort with its limited funds, resources, and manpower to defend its overextended empire, thereby leading to its eventual defeat in World War II.
Eventual defeats. So it takes a few years. First, it made the biggest mistake to attack Pearl Harbor. Okay. Second, it makes another biggest defeat because there's a battle of Midway, where you are versus about 11 aircraft carrier versus US about 7 to 8 aircraft carrier. And out of the 11 Japanese aircraft carrier, the Akagi, Akayu, and Shoyu, and this which one, Akagi, and Kagai, sorry. These are the biggest aircraft carrier that was being defeated in the Midway. The defeat of this Midway shows the cripple of the Navy supremacy of Japan. They never admit it. Now, to build an aircraft carrier, to carry all the 200 planes, the Zero fighter planes, to flew all the ways and attack to the nearest targets, it takes more than 1 year or so to build an aircraft carrier. Okay? And that's the reason that is the defeat. Why? Because if you watch the Pacific War or the Midway, the movie, the US have the ability to intercept the Morse codes, the secret code from Japan. And that's how they were able to intercept in the Midway. Okay, and that was the starting and the beginning of the defeat of Japan. They never learned the lesson. They put all eggs into one basket to put all the bloody hole there to go and attack US. And by then, they never learned again. The biggest mistake they have is in Philippines. Now, Philippines got 7,000 islands. Okay, and one of the defeats that they made by Japan is the island hopping. You know what is island hopping, right? That means I put 200 soldiers in one island, another 300 in one island, another 50 in one island. Last time got no WhatsApp. Their signal is all based on battery. If their side got no power, the battery of the signal will be gone. Bye-bye, no battery. They don't have the power station. You build a power station, you need a lot of materials. So how? They all have to depend on their own. They do not know whether got food to eat, got what, and then some of them die of malaria, got illnesses or hunger, got these hallucinations or whatever it is. So there is a morale affected. Now, why you learn all these things is very important. In business world, just like COVID-19 now, gentlemen, take note. Why so many F&B closed down? Because of this morale affected. The business is no good already, one thing. The bosses start to retrench people. When they see there are 10 F&B shop, 10 store, and now left to 3 store, you will know that one by one, you are going to go off. You got no mood to work for the boss. Just like Japan. They know that, they heard news, 道听途说, they know their counterparts in other islands. You see the attack, then they suddenly one US flag planted on the island means sayonara already. The morale is gone. So the defeat is 他自作自受. Okay, 真的是自作自受. Okay, it's just that if you were to control just Manchuria alone, still okay. But he's still so greedy in the way they expand in such a way in a very tremendous fast speed. It's the same in business. You see, you need a loyal employee to work for you, right? 一成对吗？你要有那种忠心耿耿的。just like 那个杨家将在宋朝的时候，杨门女将、杨家将、岳飞。These are the really true general. Not only you must have true general, the top management like CEO, CFO, COO, senior manager, the supervisors. You also need from the cleaner all the way to the CEO. It's same in the corporate world, same in this thing. Now, when Ethan was mentioning about the pilots, hey, hello, all the top pilots died in the kamikaze of the aeroplane to chop on all the aircraft carrier. No pilots already. How? They're going to take Wei Miao, Yi Chen, and Xing Zhen as a young pilot. They only teach them how to take off. They never teach them how to land. So it's a one-way ticket. They're going to die. So this is like, when before they die, they'll drink the sake and say bye-bye, sayonara. That's it. So this is, then you also affect the morale already. So you can bring 20 young pilots to fly the plane, but you only got 10 aeroplanes there. Then how about the other 10 young pilots? What are they going to do? Strap their bomb around their body and go and kamikaze again. So this is the thing to say, that if they don't learn this mistake, they will never learn this mistake. You get me? First, their manpower is, because of overpopulation, but overnight, their population just die like that. The very simple thing. This one also mentioned because of later Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right, Ethan, carry on. So no,
Japan's Japan's defeat in World War II was not due to its weaknesses, but rather because of the strength of US. One example of strength of US was the contribution of women to the war effort. Women played an integral part in boosting the Allies' industrial machine, particular to USA's. Using propaganda campaigns, the Allied countries actively encouraged women to contribute to the war effort. For example, in the USA, women's audience workers worked in factories to produce weapons, vehicles.
Gerard?
Wait.
Where is it? I'm so lost already. I was typing something, sorry. In the factory, produce weapons, vehicles, military supplies necessary for the war effort. Some also
joined the armed forces, serving as nurses and even soldiers. This provided the much needed labor in the production of war goods, in sustaining the economy and providing an edge against Japan in the front war. In contrast, Japan, like Germany, emphasized the role of women as mothers and child bearers and stressed that they should stay at home. It was only later by the war that Japanese made an effort to encourage women to enter the workforce. By then, however, Japan's industries and supply routes was already crippled. Hence, the contribution of women to the war led to Japan's defeat in World War II, as it strengthened the military capacity of allies to fight a long-drawn war, which Japan was unable to sustain.
You see, the M power, the M. In conclusions, I disagree with the statement that the defeat of Japan in World War II was due to its weaknesses. In the short term, despite its weaknesses, the fanatical tendencies of the Japanese in the forms of their kamikaze pilots continue to inflict heavy losses on the Allied forces. However, in the long term, the strength of the US, especially in terms of the manpower, meant that Japan's defeat was imminent and only a matter of time. So, was it the defeat of Japan's the reasons, or the introductions and the interventions and the interventions and the involvement right now? Is it the introduction, the involvement, and the interventions of US create a bigger spheres of the power to help the Allied forces to defeat the Axis power? What you say is US involvement is the main reason. But to me, I would still think Japan's weaknesses is its main downfall. Of course, US contribute because of their technology, and you know US run 24/7. The day of California is the night of New York. Okay, and US covered 2 oceans. So no matter how, even their population is about 250 million compared to China 1 billion, I would think that in terms at this point of time, if these two were to fight as in real war, China may not be able to totally defeat US, because US definitely got a lot of allied power. I mean, allies as well as China also got other power. But in terms of technology and others, okay, in terms of manpower, definitely US cannot win China. But in terms of this kind of strategic, China also will not lose. 可能变成是2败俱伤. The two becomes really it's like imagine these 2 tigers were fighting, both are equally. If you say a tiger and a wolf, the chances the tiger will win. Or if you say a tiger and a hyena, usually the tiger will win. But these are 2 very fierce Siberian tiger. You know, they're fighting together. So the chances is that is why they want to avoid the confrontations. But Japan is always the 不自量力. It's just like, I would say US is like a big honey bear, whereas this Japanese is like maybe a more gentle bear. It's a very small, maybe a very like a cub that is not able, maybe a young adult bear was still not able to fight with an experienced bear. And I feel that Japan's defeat is also one of the reasons, because no doubt they say women came in later, but because of they are very chauvinist, the Japanese are very chauvinist in terms of their ego, and in terms that they cannot kowtow. That means they cannot bow to surrender, and that's why they keep prolonging the war, knowing that the war is inevitably on the losing side. They still insist that they have to continue. That is where I find that it's also the reason the weakness caused them to defeat. More, you can say that later because of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing, it helped. I think inevitably Japan will, just like you take at the last battle in Iwo Jima, okay, and the Okinawa, the last 2 front protections before the US go in and attack Tokyo. So this is something that, you know, they lack of the weaponry already, they lack of the ammunitions. These are all the things that they cause their own downfall and defeat. If they were to surrender like Germany, okay, you see, because Germany, after Hitler surrendered, he killed himself, so-called, the Germany, all the generals surrender. And guess what? After surrender, they are, of course, they are prisoner of war. They still have a bit of how to say humanities, a bit of some 面子, okay, some reputation to uphold, that you know they still can survive through. Yeah, of course, some of them will have to go for war crimes, have to be hanged or things like that. But as far as those soldiers, they can go back to their homeland. Same thing like Japan after the surrender of war, the soldiers can go back to their normal life, things like that. Okay, so in the US, they are very humane, saying that if you surrender, you have a better future. But if you don't do that, the consequences is going to be very bad. So can I use the word Japanese defeat witness is 自讨苦吃啊，不自量力 more than US. US is just like a deterrent. It's just like very simple. If a student were caught smoking and playing truants and gambling and fighting and bullying in school, okay, I find that even though you have the police case come in, the discipline come in, the counselor come in, the parents come in, but if the student don't want to change his bad habit, don't want to change, 所谓江山易改，本性难移, you don't want to change it, I mean, it's as good that this person will rot and end up might go to prison. So it's the same concept. This Japanese, to me, the witness is very highly on Japan. So if you happen to come across this kind of exam paper, I leave it to you, okay? Whether you choose this or that, all right? Okay, now, Wei Miao, are you clear?
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to, the two of you, you can write and submit a homework to me. Now, this one, we still got a bit of time. Now, remember, background information is very important. Okay. Xing Chen, you can participate now. Can you read to the class for this one? And choose 5 keywords or 6 keywords. Go.
Once Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany in January 1933, he sought to establish total control over the people of Germany. He implemented various social policies to consolidate his power and achieve his ideals. These policies affected the different groups of people in Germany in varying degrees. Hitler also wanted to ensure that majority of the Germans would support the Nazi Party and not oppose them. Read the following sources to find out the various social policies Hitler used to control Germany.
So Wei Miao and Yi Chen and Xing Chen, and Hao-Rui, if you are listening, if you are looking at the video later on, you must know that this policy definitely will be biased, propaganda, and also might be 偏见 to one-sided affair to the German people who are more Nazi supporter. So these are the few keywords I will choose. Number one, I will say, I will choose this one, this word here. Okay, as one. Then I'll choose this one. Okay. My second keywords or key sentence. Then varying degrees. That means how serious, that one. And the year is very important. In history, years and dates are super duper important. And then of course, the various social policy. So these are my keywords, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last but not least, I will just ensure the majority of the Germans. Now with all these 6 keywords, let's go through one by one. And I hope the two of you for set 4, of course, Yi Chen, Xing Chen, I will go through the source, then you see. Okay, let's tell me. Maybe they are already seasoned. Can you tell me this one is plus, minus, or neutral? Okay, I mean positive, negative, or neutral. Okay, can you? Let's go. Based on the, let's read 1933. Maybe I'll read this. Thank you.
Read this one. Read this one.
Yes, a 1933 poster.
A 1933 poster of the film S.A. Membran, which tells us the story of a young boy whose life was transformed after learning about Nazism and joining the SA.
Definitely positive, 对吧? The social impact, positive, 对不对? Okay, agree now, Wei Miao. Do you agree?
Yeah, the question. Can I see the question again? Sorry.
No, there's no questions yet.
Oh.
I haven't seen the question. Remember, don't look at the question first. Look at the source that I want you from 所谓百闻不如一见, look at the source first. It's definitely positive.
Yeah, based on it, it's positive. It's positive.
Based on it, it's positive. Correct. Then later, when you look at the questions, then you see whether you want to change your mind. Get it? This is how I teach social study. Say second one, my dear. For you, Wei Miao.
A Nazi poster in 1933, the caption says, "Children, what will life be without our Führer?" This one is positive.
Confirm. You see like that, so happy. So roughly, you can guess what kind of question they're going to ask you, right? 对不对? 不要看 question 先，看 source 先，然后你才去分析那个 question 到底是怎么样。So when you say positive, then suddenly you read the question, 不对了 then you 就慢慢的思考。Look here, you think far, you think high, you think deep, and you think behind. 4 directions. Far, high is good, but you have to think deeper. That's why you have the deep-rooted meaning. Okay, that's third one. Don't mind all read by you, okay, Ma Wei Miao. Okay, go.
1936.
Sorry, Yichen and Xingchen, if you are not sure, please stop us. Go.
A 1936 cartoon drawn by a German living in the USA, commenting on the Nazis' rule in Germany. The source shows Hitler asking Heinrich, "Why don't they like us, Heinrich?" This one is negative.
Heinrich say, "Hello, you are the leader. You still ask me, you xiao. You are the one who asked me to kill. You ask me, so it's a sarcastic tone, right? You see, 有时候你要比较 crazy 一点。Now, this is no need to show me lah. Come on, my contextual knowledge and my general knowledge tell me already. Jews was being Holocaust 6 million by this clown. Obviously, this is a negative feature, ma. Obviously, stupid ask me, why don't they like us? If you don't like us, you have to kill them. What kind of stupid rule is this? Something like that. Okay, let's go.
Source D, a historian's statistics on the German media under Hitler's rule. In
Don't look at.
1930.
不要读你不要读。
那个。
So 你觉得是什么 ？Plus minus 还是 neutral？
我觉得这个可能是 negative 的。Like
positive, negative or neutral?
Negative.
Negative, let's read. You say negative, let's read.
In 1933, there were about 4,700 daily newspapers in Germany representing a wide variety of political and regional views and loyalties. Between 1933 and 1945, government-owned newspapers increased from 2.5% to a total to 82%. The German news agency provided regulations for the presentation of news, and all journalists were made responsible to the state rather than to their editors.
What do you think? Is it positive now or still negative?
Still negative.
Why?
Their life is being restricted, like their newspapers. The contents of the newspapers are being heavily monitored and restricted.
Yes. That affected different groups. Ensure their various degree. Correct now? You see, restricted 嘛，就是有一个程度，对不对 ？A certain degree 嘛，这些 newspaper。You see， 你看Uncle Raymond 还没有看那个 question 之前，be honest I also forgot already。我看过这个，我也是忘记。So 记住，你不要马上拿到那个 history paper 就直接看那个 question。It's a wrong move. A lot of students look at the question first. It's a super wrong move. Don't do that. Okay, so always look at the background first. 然后慢慢 analyze 那个 source. Okay, let's do E.
An extract from a letter from a prisoner working in a Nazi concentration camp to his wife.
What do you think?
I think the paragraph. I mean,
it can
the
be
letter.
Sorry.
The letter itself would seem to be like positive, but in fact it is not. I mean, in reality, it is not. But the letter would show some positive thing.
对，安定他的 wife 的人心，对吗？安定人心。Want to be showing that 没有事你不要担心老婆。可是他写的时候很伤心。Very sad, right? Correct. Don't put thing. This one really okay. Carry on.
I eat in the camp. Today at midday, there was delicious soup with tasty bacon in the canteen, and then a delightful dessert. Today, after the filling meal, we went for a walk. In my bed, I am sleeping extremely well. We had time for exercise, and the work we had to do is very manageable. Hopefully, things are good for you as they are for me.
We had time for exercise. Yeah, exercise. What 东西 exercise. Exercise. Definitely is. It shows it's a positive. Okay, this one will show positive because it's saying positive. How about F?
An SS guard giving his testimony at the Nuremberg trials. Trials in 1945.
That is the trial after World War II prosecute the Nazis war crime. So this SS might be telling the truth, might not be telling the truth, because he might not telling the truth in order to save his own ass. That you might push the brain 太提前了 to push it. Oh no, it's my boss 微妙叫我杀人的，然后微妙叫一晨杀人的。星辰跟我不关我们的事。We just follow instruction. we are innocent. In fact, we tell 微妙议程不要杀人，他只是杀人，说不关我的事啊，你是推卸责任，可能啊，可能。So this one I will still put that negative, okay, about how the whole entire the social rule. Let's go. At that time,
I was with a guard company on the tower which closed off the area of the Wiener Graven Quarry. I was able to observe in the morning about 6 to 8 prisoners who came with 2 SS men. One was
ignore the name, never mind. I also can't read.
One was yada yada, and the other, another one. They moved about and made strange gestures. I saw that they were approaching the cliff. I saw from my watchtower that these 2 SS men were beating the prisoners, and I realized immediately that they intended to force them to throw themselves over the cliff or else to push them over. I noticed how one of the prisoners was kicked while lying on the ground, and the gesture showed that he was supposed to throw himself down the cliff. This the prisoner promptly did under the pressure of the blows, most likely in despair.
If I'm the prisoner, 微妙，我会跟他讲，叶问咏春，
好吧，
对吗？哎，笨蛋嘞，我都已经要死了，我跟你拼了，我跟你同归于尽了。啊 sad to say, maybe at that time people are still, you see, the education and they're scared and nervous, whatever. Okay, this is definitely negative, showing of all these fact that shows how bad it was being treated. And you see, also see all the words that underline make sense. Okay, makes sense. And also January 1933. In fact, it is true. First one already say 1933. Second one also 1933. Third one also quite close to 1933. Okay, and this one also got 1933. You see? So remember, when the background information specifically give you the year, you must take note already. That was the year when the Nazis came into power, when Führer Hitler came into power. That's the rise of Hitler. Okay, where's my question? Oh, I never give the question, man. Oh my gosh, did I give the miss out the questions? Okay, never mind. We use this. Okay, we use this as a question. Why was the poster published? Okay, when you see the why, okay, usually it must have the purpose. Why was the poster published in this manner? See? Xingchen, can you read to the class, please?
The poster was published as an advertisement for the film, which would showcase the might of the Nazi Party, according to the poster. This was to encourage more Germans, including Germans who still did not support Hitler, to watch the film in order that they would be convinced to support Hitler and the Nazi Party.
Thank you. Sorry, I forgot to read this one. Xingchen, can you read this one also?
Hitler had just risen to power in 1933, and he wants to establish his control over Germany. One of the methods he used was propaganda, in which Hitler would use the media to promote his ideas and spread the beliefs of his party.
Okay, this is very important. If however you are listening, and in fact, remind me for those how Wei Miao and Ethan, I realize go and look through your book. Which year did Hitler rise and which year did Hitler fall? Which year did Stalin rise and which year did Stalin die? Okay, and which year did the Japanese military, the Prime Minister Dojo rise and which year did he die? Okay, must take note of this one. Which year did the war started and which year did the war ended? All these dates must take into account because it might come out in SPQ, it might come in SPQ and SEQ. Okay, take note. So you see, 1933, why is so significant? So this is the rise of Hitler. This is the time when majorities are behind him, garner the support, rally behind him, give the full 100% to support him, to make sure that it's a transformation of a new German, the Third Reich, the Nazis' power. I always cannot pronounce the one. What Sawadika? What is that sign called? Xingchen, what is the sign? The German sign? The Sawadika, right? Sawadika. You know what Sawadika? The low, the symbol, 好像那个如来佛祖那个 symbol.
Oh no.
You know, right? The sign, the zigzag. Okay. So this is the one. All right. Next one. Use surprise. Now remember, please You must write yes and no, yes and no. Right, Ethan, 对吗? I think this is now you're expert already lah. Okay, you're expert in that already. Okay, let's end these questions. Then the rest you can do as homework. Okay, please. The answer will be given to you, but of course, please write on your own. If you really got no time to do the homework, hey, please do yourself a favor. This is a good modern answer to see. If you don't want to see, then good luck to you. Okay, let's go. Ethan. Hey, wait. I should see. Okay. You read the last one all the way down and we call it a day. Okay, let's go. Yes, it is surprising. Mr. Ethan.
Yes, it is surprising because it makes Hitler look like a cruel leader. However, when I cross-reference to my contextual knowledge, I know that Hitler managed to solve the unemployment problems in Germany. And he also came up with different schemes such as the Beauty Through Labor program to provide benefits for the Germans.
So this is contextual knowledge already. It's nothing to form from the source. So if you do not know what is beauty through labor, then how? Is there any other one? There's another one. The worker will get a Ford, not Ford. The worker will get a what car is that? Volkswagen car. Okay, after completing certain amount of hours. So this is another way of encouraging the worker to work. Carry on? No, it is not surprising.
Sorry?
Carry on? No, it's not surprising.
Carry on.
Thank you.
No, it is not surprising because it showed Hitler to be a cruel leader who ruled with fear. When I cross-refer to source F, it showed that the Nazi Party ruled with fear as there were concentration camps set up for people who did not obey the Nazi Party. Furthermore, the source showed Hitler to have hung many people, which also proves that Hitler ruled Germany with fear.
No, you see, when you say Hitler hung many people, he's using this source, which is source, this is B, this is source C, right? Source C, right? This will be source C. And then this source D. But you use source F. Source F will be more supportive, will be more genuine, will be more valid and more stronger because this is after the war, and this is where it's on trial. The person have to speak the truth, okay, in order to save his ass or in order to make sure that the truth reveal. So you see, but this one, you see, when you say furthermore, also show, this one should put another like source C. Okay, carry on. Last part. Ethan.
Source C is not surprising because the source was not published in Germany. The Nazi Party would not have allowed such cartoons to be published in Germany, as censorship would have prevented such publications. Furthermore, the source would have been accurate in portraying Hitler and Nazi Party to have ruled Hitler using fear. Nobody who opposed the Nazi Party would have been arrested by the secret police. Anybody who opposed.
Carry on, don't worry. We know what. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Party would have been arrested by the secret police. Concentration camps were set up for people who opposed them as well. Therefore, it's not surprising to see Hitler and Nazi Party being portrayed as evil in source C.
Yes. Why suddenly it moved? Suddenly my thing moved by itself. Very scary. Wei Miao, take note. Always use the magic word task, hands, and therefore write down. When you end the whole thing, always use the word task, hands, and therefore. It is not surprising. This is a super important words to use that link the whole thing. This also can be used in social study. Okay. Okay. It was one of my lecturers from Amor lecturers who teach SS. Okay, in university, who came down to share with us task, hands, and therefore. Very useful words to use. Last part, Ethan.
Source C is not surprising because even though when we cross-refer to source B, which tells us that Hitler was a kind and benevolent leader, is not a reliable source. Source B is a propaganda source with the purpose of gaining support from the Germans. Thus, it cannot be trusted, and thus I'm not surprised by source C.
Yes. Okay, because he asked you to source C. Studies B and C. So here B, C, they're talking about C itself. You can use C and B, but now they use C to evaluate. Okay? Wei Miao, be careful. When you are having source surprise, you have to cross-reference, you have to check. Okay, cross-reference with contextual knowledge if you want to. Okay, by writing like that, you see the answer is different. See, you can say I either or, you see, evaluate C or B. If you don't want to evaluate C, you can evaluate B. But this one, they took the C because B itself is already mentioned, it's a bit of propaganda. So we don't want to use B because listen carefully, children, because the whole thing is that Hitler was really a bad dictator. It's no point to cross something that is not relevant and true. It's always must write down, history is always reveal the truth, not to cover the truth. History is like that, to reveal the truth. That is why they use source C instead of source B. That is why this teacher is very smart to use these two sources to see whether the student understand the content, the far view, high view, deep view, and the background view, the four view. Steady, the teacher will create this question. Of course, he's my mentor. Answer. So you're lucky to see this answer, my dear. All right, so the rest, if you're not sure, next week we can discuss further, all right, to bring back the other source, right? As far as concerned, next week, I think it's only you and you, the two of you. I don't think Xin Chen should come in because he got other exam to study, like Hao Rui. I heard Hao Rui also got exam to study for these few days. So next week, okay, we will see how the two of you or more set 4 students will be coming in to know Wei Miao and Yi Chen. If you have friends in your school, that must be close one, must be good students. Okay,